Okay, so all right, this section is on the technology plan for the artist business plan. This is further down the line after we've talked about many of the other topics. And if you haven't really completed any of those other topics, you might want to think about that before you get up to this. But we did talk about the company overview, the personnel plan, the products and services plan, marketing plan, customer plan, promotion plan, advertising plan, competition plan, sales plan, intellectual property plan, and now we're up to the technology plan. And we're getting close to finishing up the artist business plan with where we're going. Now, part of what's going on in your technology plan is some of the things that we discussed when we were going over your artist development plan. And section, I think 14 of the artist development plan is on instruments, gear, and equipment. And a lot of that stuff can be copied and pasted into this section of your artist business plan, in addition to adding new information that you want on there. So within the technology plan, within the technology plan is the office technology, promotion technology, recording technology, equipment technology, and software. And then all of that will be culminated and put into the overview, which is going to be in 13.01. Okay, so we'll go through each of these briefly, and then we'll move on. So the 5 things that most likely that you're going to be addressing here, and like I said, we probably talked about some of these already in your artist development plan, but not all of it. So office technology, promotion technology, recording technology, equipment technology, and then the software needed. So, for example, what do you need for your office? When we talk about office technology, obviously you're going to need some things like a cell phone, right? And I would recommend a cell phone with a separate phone number for the artist company. You can use Google Voice and Google Phones or whatever that app is that Google has and still use the same phone. You don't have to go buy 2 different phones and 2 different accounts, but you want to be able to make sure that you have something along the lines. You need a way to communicate. The best way to do that is with a cell phone of some sort. The other thing you're going to need this for more than just office technology, is a computer, either a laptop or a Mac or a PC or something in order to store your data on maybe a Chromebook or along those lines, so that you can store your music, you can store your business plans, you can store all your correspondence, all of your business can be on here. And with that in mind, I'd also recommend a way to back it up. I have a couple different terabyte machines. Each one of them is 3 terabytes. And I've known that I back up one to the other. So not only do I have one backup, but I keep 2 backups. I've lost a lot of data over the years, and I've learned my lesson. So I'm warning you up front: backup, backup, backup. And these terabyte machines are what I recommend, mainly because you'll probably be getting into video, and video takes a lot of disk space. So if that's the case, you don't want to run out of room by backing it up on a thumb drive. That's not going to work very long. So I recommend that you back it up on some sort of large storage device that you can store at your home or at your office. I know that they're trying to get us to use the cloud more and more, but frankly, I don't trust it. I want to be able to own and control my own content. I don't want to put it up on a cloud that may or may not fry because of a massive solar flare, or the company goes out of business, or they decide, oh, we'll just shut this down, and you lose your stuff. So I recommend putting it on some sort of device that you can own and control and store in your own home or perhaps at a separate location, because I know that many businesses store their backups off company property just in case the business burns down, catches on fire, or they have a theft. So they have backup copies that go somewhere else outside of the business in order to keep an update. And then they update those. I update my terabyte machines once a month. I update some other things that I'm doing once a week. And then every time I create a file, I update that file, back up that file locally, but just so I have it as I'm doing my work. I don't know about you guys, but it's no fun losing something that you spent many hours on because of a computer glitch. So, something to consider with office technology. The other important instrument, or I guess it's an instrument or machine is a better word. The other important machine that you're going to need for office technology most likely is going to be a photocopier, one that comes with a scanner. You're going to be scanning documents and you're going to be doing promotional materials. You're going to need a way to quickly and efficiently reproduce those flyers, for example, or maybe some small posters. But you'll also be able to have agreements and those kind of things that you can scan, put right into your computer, and that way you have all your data digitized and it works out for the best of you. Maybe you want to use Office Max or Staples or the library to do your scanning or photocopying. That's fine, but eventually it's going to end up costing you more than just buying one on your own. So you might want to consider that and making sure that you have the backup of toner that goes with it so that you can make that work for you. Okay? The next type of technology that you probably want to utilize is your promotion technology. All right, so how are you going to do this? Once again, we already talked about the phone. Well, that's great promotion technology. Calling up people and saying you've got a gig going on or you're doing a recording, that's promotion, okay? So the phone works out really well for promotion technology. So that should definitely go on your list. Once again, a computer, a laptop, a PC, a Mac, a Chromebook, or whatever it is that you're using is great for promotion. So you can do your email blasts and so forth. But with an email blast, you need to have email, and that's software, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But that all comes under the umbrella of promotion. And then maybe your smart device also has a capability of doing broad texting. And if that's the case, that's also software, but it's also part of promotion. So we also talked about the idea of a photocopy machine. Well, that could be used for promotion. We talked about flyers and potential small posters that can be done through promotion on a photocopy machine. So these are things that you need to think about of what type of promotional technology you're going to need for your business and then put it in the plan. Okay? The next type of technology is your recording technology. And this is sometimes can be a little costly. So perhaps you want to use something like Pro Tools or Fruity Loops. Oh, well, that's software, but it is part of recording technology. What are you going to be storing this information on? Once again, maybe a laptop. I would recommend maybe a MacBook Pro. They seem to do and hold music a little bit better than the PCs do. But maybe you need editing equipment. Maybe you need something that syncs it to video. Obviously, you're going to need things like a keyboard and a mouse and a monitor to go along with it. And probably, most likely, you're going to need some good headphones and you're going to need a good speaker system to do this. And potentially, this is where your gear comes into play, your instruments. Are you going to need keyboards? Are you going to need a drum machine? Are you going to need maybe some new horns or guitars or string instruments? I mean, I don't know, but this is where it will go into your plan when you start thinking about what you're going to need for your recording. And we just talked about equipment, but what about other equipment technology that you're going to utilize? Okay. So equipment technology is something that's even as simple as a vehicle to get to the gig. And once again, go to your artist development plan, look at your equipment list that you already put on there of things that you have and things that you need, and then add it to your artist business plan into this section. So same idea. What kind of equipment are you going to need for your equipment technology in order to make that work for you? Okay, and the last thing is your software. And I just mentioned the idea of Pro Tools. And so Pro Tools is something that you're going to be looking at to do your recordings. Maybe you're going to use Audition, or maybe you're going to use Audacity, or maybe you're going to use, there's just a bunch of different ones that are potential possibilities for recording. But you need software that's also going to do your promotion, and that might be broad text software, might be email software, might be a website software in order to build and maintain your websites. So there's a whole bunch of different things electronically that you're going to be able to utilize for your business, for the artist business, that's software related. And once again, I recommend backup, 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 and taking your software and be able to store it on a third-party platform or something that you can store in your home or your office in order to keep that underway. Okay, so that's it for the technology plan.